Hey everybody, welcome to subscriber Q&A. Sorry, I was a little disorganized. I'm looking at the delayed video that you guys are watching right now, and I'm still getting myself in gear. I'm wearing my red V-neck test top, and I'm very excited to share that today. Plus, what we're going to be doing is a small bust adjustment. And I went on my channel, someone had asked me how to do a small bust adjustment, and I literally scoured my channel thinking I must have done a small bust adjustment video by now, and I couldn't find one. So I'm going to share how to do a small bust adjustment on two different things, a wrap top style front, and then also just a standard bust start as well. And then I'm going to play with my granddaughter. So you know Wednesdays are granddaughter day. So I want to get through how to do this, and then I'm going to move on to granddaughter fun. But let me just stand up. I do want to show you this. This is a little bit ahead of Friday's FabFit Friday. I want to show you what I did to my top. Now you'll notice I made a diagonal seam down like this to the side seam, and it stops about here. Okay. The reason why I did that in testing my V-neck version is because I wanted to finish using my red linen, and I didn't have enough scraps that were big enough to cut it out as a full front and a full back. And then that got me thinking and comparing the difference between how a diagonal seam lies. Now these seams are on the straight of grain, and what I know about seams on the bias straight of grain is they add stability. So I like the way this lays. And then over here on the side seam, you can see, you know, the side seam is not bad. You know, it's okay. And then in the back, what I want to show you is, you'll notice the upper back is puckering when I sewed it to the bias lower part. So basically what's happening, I think, is, just to recap some of these things, I think the top back of my top, which is on the straight of grain, I think that edge needs to be smaller than the bias edge. First I made the bias edge smaller, and I stretched it to the straight of grain of the lower edge of the upper back, and I got that little bit of a pucker. So what I did was I took the center back seam in deeper, and then I sewed it back on, and it was better. So I do believe that making it that upper back edge a little bit smaller, less wide compared to the top edge of the lower section will get that to hang better. So I've adjusted my pattern for that, and I've also adjusted my pattern to try to get rid of side seams that are straight. So join me Friday, and I'm going to share a whole bunch of other stuff that I did to this pattern before Friday. And today I just want to share how to do a small bust adjustment, because I was going through my subscriber questions, and someone asked how to do that. So I'm going to switch my view here. Ooh, let me shut this light off. There we go. All right, so let me start with how to do a small bust adjustment on a traditional darted front. So this is a darted top pattern, and you know, just like I mentioned with full bust adjustments, one thing that you want to pay attention to is you want to make sure that the dart is in the right spot. So even if you don't have a large bust, it's still important for this to get in the right spot. So just to review how you do that is you measure from your shoulder down to where your apex is. So let's pretend that's where my apex is. So you can see that this dart is in the right spot for that measurement because the dart is, if I put my ruler here, you can see, it's approximately a half an inch lower than where my apex is, and it's about a half an inch away. So on smaller sizes, a half an inch is a good distance for your tip of your dart to be both below and away from the apex this way. Now, if it wasn't in the right spot, what you would do is you would literally just dash yourself a rectangle around the dart like this. Okay, you would cut this out and you would slide it up or down to get it in the right position if your you know, if the dart wasn't in the right spot, just slide it up or down, and then you can see, I mean, you could slide it first, fill in the space if you're lowering it here, and then do the small bust adjustment. So I wanted to deal with getting that in the right spot first. The next thing we're going to do is, I'm going to switch colors here since I used green to show you that stuff. Let's switch over to pink. Now you're going to use the same adjustment lines that you would for a full bust adjustment. So I'm going to draw myself a horizontal line from the tip of the dart to the side seam. I'm also going to draw a line from the front notch down to, down to the tip of the dart. So now I've made a big mess of it, so just ignore that. All right, so now what you're going to do here is we're literally going to cut through like this. So I have two pieces to my top now. I've got upper and lower sections. I'm going to cut into the diagonal to the armhole notch to create a pivot like this. Now we know if we're going to be doing a full bust adjustment, we spread this, right, to make more room. Well, what we're going to do to make it smaller is actually overlap. So I'm going to just draw myself a guideline. Let's say we need to do, I'm going to get rid of, let's say, on this small sample, a 3/8 inch of fabric here. Okay, so see the pink triangle that I just drew? I'm basically going to pivot this in and overlap it like this. Okay. And then I'm going to shut that. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to actually, instead of spreading the pattern, we are going to overlap it. And I'm going to cut this dart out all the way here as well for right now. So let's say we're also going to overlap it, let's say that quarter, like this. So instead of spreading, which would make the dart bigger, we're going to overlap. So if I line this up like this, you can see what happened is we're actually making a smaller dart. So let me just tape that into place here. Oops. And you can see that the dart itself has gotten really small on here. So the original tip of the dart is right here, right? So let me just zoom in so you can see a little bit closer here. There we go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to measure this dart leg from the tip of the dart to here. So this measures 2 1/8. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this dart leg. I'm going to redraw it from the tip of the dart here, like this. And I'm going to bring it out to 2 1/8. 2 1/8 is out here. So you can see what happened is this dart leg, oops, this dart leg was longer. We're going to make the top dart leg equal to it, and I'm just going to do this. Okay, so when we fold this up, we're going to end up with equal length dart legs. And I'm just going to tape this paper in here now. Oh, and actually, I made a little boo-boo. You need to connect it to the original side seam. So I did kind of, hold on, let me make sure that's accurate. Okay, so it's like this, really. Sorry. So it goes to there. Okay, so you can see that dart is much smaller than it was. So now to get this ready, or to finish this, I'm going to take my lower dart leg and I'm going to fold it up to the top dart leg, and I'm going to fold it into position like this. And then notice what happens if I cut out my side seam. It gives us the shape of the smaller dart right there. Okay, so this whole pink area is the dart. We just color it all in so you can see from the original. Okay, and so there is our, well, actually, hold on, it's here, sorry. It's this is the dart legs are green because I didn't draw it accurate. So basically, you can see the dart legs need to be in agreement with where they were. So I drew that green line to show you it has to be right there and there. And then there is our small bust adjustment. And you can definitely see the dart is smaller. We've taken some vertical length out and we've taken out some right here. So that's how you do a small bust adjustment on a darted top. And then I had shown on a wrap top how to do a small bust adjustment as well. And here's the cool thing. This is my crossover cardi. So this is the hip down here. But like if you were working on a, let's say, a wrap top dress and the pattern only went to here, you would do it the same way. So like if this were at the top of a bodice and you were going to sew it to a skirt, you could do this the same way. This works for, you know, crossover bodices or crossover cardigans or crossover tops. Hi Cindy, I have recently found your channel. I love your videos. I have been watching your prom dress sew. I am getting ready to make a wedding dress for one of my daughters. Lots of great tips. Oh, congratulations. Thank you so much for joining me. There's two there are two prom gown sew along tutorials or playlists on my channel. The one from 2016 was the one where I went full board out trying to reproduce this easy, lace bodice with a silk skirt, and it was strapless, and I built that thing up to the point where it stayed up with no help from Abby. And then the next year I did a deep plunging V prom gown for her, and the longest part of that one was when I had to individually stick Hot Fix Swarovski crystals all over the bodice to make it sparkly. That's what took the longest time for that. So if you have questions, let me know, and you can ask them now, or you could ask them underneath the videos you're watching. I respond to every question. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm happy you found my channel, and I'm happy you're joining me here for small bust adjustment. All right, so getting back to this here. So what I want to show you here is this dashed line is measuring to the apex so you can make this adjustment in the right area. So this dashed line is just a guide to measure to where your apex is on your pattern. Then what you're going to do is you are going to slash straight through the front and up this diagonal line. And what I want to show you is, you can see that what I have here, now granted this one's facing the opposite way, but you can see I've got the same diagonal line from the armhole to the apex, and we're going horizontally across. I don't have to go all the way across for this one though, because I'll show you what we're going to do here. This does not have a bust dart, so we're not going to worry about spreading it all the way to the side seam. Oh, good. Oh, your daughter is very big busted, so watching has been very helpful. Oh, good. I'm so happy that you're getting stuff out of that. All right, so this is just such an easy thing. A lot of times when you're working with a crossover or a wrap top, you just need more width this way to get it to fit. And also, you can see if I open this up, it's going to add a little bit of vertical as well. So I'm just going to spread that the amount I think I need. And I'm going to go ahead and use a pink Post-it note under here, like this. So spread, oh, we're not spreading actually. See, I got all excited to do full bust, sorry. Okay, so this would spread. We're going to, again, go like this. So we're going to overlap here. And we're going to get rid of some of the width right here. So full bust needs to be bigger. Small bust, we're going to turn it in like this. And you can see what happens here is, well, wait a minute. If I were doing a full bust, I would continue this line down to give me more room below it as well. But for a small bust, I'm going to slide it in instead of overlapping. I mean, instead of spreading, I'm sliding it in a little bit like that. And you can see what that's done is it's gotten rid of, oops, just tape this down here. Okay, so you can see it's not only has it gotten rid of this little triangle here, but it also has gotten rid of this. So you can see it's shortened it there and there. So now that's smaller, and then what you can do for the remainder of it is just, you know, you can either fill this in all the way down, or you can blend it back in with the original, whichever is what you think you need there, depending on how the rest of it fits. If it's just a matter of being too big here, you can gradually bring, oh wait, let me use this one. You can gradually do this, so I could be on my original point, and you could do something like that. So see, you're putting it all back and just taking it out up here where your bust is. So that's how you do a small bust adjustment on a wrap top, and small bust adjustment on a darted top. So those are the two things I wanted to share today. I think this is the smallest live chat I've had since I've started doing these. So today might be a busy day for people. But, oh, hey Lazarus, welcome. Oh, Lazarus wants me to correct the armhole. Okay, so if your armhole collapses, you can definitely just smooth this back out. Unless you're doing a huge adjustment, the shape of the armhole shouldn't be adjusted that much, but you can see it peaks up right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and smooth that back out like that. Thank you, Lazarus, for reminding me to fix that. Oh, Sharon says, perhaps like me, we're just watching. Oh, well, you don't have to comment. I just, sometimes we get chatting here and sometimes we don't. Hey, Jason, welcome. All right, so that's my big exciting thing. If you missed, on Monday, I did a special video showing how to use this tool. It's a hem guide / fabric tamer. I'm just going to show it to you like this. If you missed it, go check that out. It was an uploaded video on Monday, but I love this thing, and I can't wait to use it during Friday's FabFit Friday if I do some sewing. Oh, hello from Denmark, Kit Alda. Welcome, welcome. Cindy says, what is your live schedule? I am live on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for subscriber Q&A, and I try to pick a question from one of my subscribers to, to answer, especially if it's longer than, longer than I can type in the comment section on my channel, or if it's really involved. That's what I do Wednesdays. And then Fridays, I'm also live at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for my FabFit Friday. And just so you all know, Jason is, he works at the print shop, Action Blueprint, which is the most amazing print shop in the United States. And he has been wanting me to do a poll to see if people would rather I do my lives at night. And I've been dragging my heels on that because I'm not a lover of nighttime working activities, but maybe I will do a maybe I will do a poll in the community tab to see if people would like to meet later in the day than I currently am. I could maybe make a little bit of an adjustment on that, but I've been thinking about it. So that's my topic for today. It was really, really short. Oh, Sharon says hers is on her way. Looking forward to it coming. I was actually surprised how much I love this little thing. So I think you're going to be excited when you get it. Give it a try and let me know. Cindy says that's usually my lunchtime. Today I'm not taking lunch. I am a commercial embroiderer. Ooh, commercial embroidery is fun. Oh, and for Sharon, this is early evening for you. Oh, all right, let's do a quiz. You are from, I'm trying to remember, the UK? I can't remember. But I do know, I don't know, like, what time is it in Denmark? Like, I know people watch me from around the world, which I find so exciting. Oh, and Cindy says that's why I like the replay. I know. So, I mean, I think no matter what time I did it, if I changed it, there would still be people who couldn't come. So, yep. Oh yeah, UK. I get 2 gold snaps for that I remember that, Sharon. Sometimes I have some people who follow along with me, and from different countries. Oh, it's 7 p.m. in Denmark. That's kind of exciting. And also, I'm sitting here thinking, wow, there's people like across the pond and over there that know about J-Stir Designs. I find that almost, I don't want to say silly, but it does tickle my heart that you guys are hanging out with me and doing subscriber Q&A with me. Does anybody have any questions that are burning that they need answers to this hot second? Oh, Cindy's from Odessa, Texas. Oh, my husband would love it if I agreed to move to Austin. All right, Cindy's telling me not to change. I do like doing it in the middle of the day too, only because it breaks up my morning from my afternoon. So like today is granddaughter day. I always have my granddaughter on Wednesdays. I get to pick her up from school when school starts, and I quite frankly am in shock that school's going to be here in less than a month now. And during the summer we've been picking her up, and I've been hanging out with her, after my lives. So I'm excited about doing that. All right, well, I don't see any questions, so I guess this is going to be more of a brief subscriber Q&A. I try to keep it to 45 minutes, but we're barely on 25 minutes here, and I'm now running out of things to talk about. It was a quick one. So I guess I can just also tell you, oh, how are the swimming lessons coming along? They're coming along terrible. She is not about putting her face in the water, and I'm not about to I'm trying all the tricks like, you know, blow the bubbles and listen to the fishies and all the things I used to do when I taught lessons myself at the Y, but she's got a deep, strong feeling about putting her face in the water. So until we can get over that, I'm guessing it's probably going to be next year. But we're working on it. We're working on it. Now when she, you know, gets her head underwater a little bit by accident, she's less traumatized. So I think we'll get it, but I'm guessing probably next summer. But you never know. She could have a strong finish. We'll see. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, I guess, is I can tell you that I am running out of, I'm going to talk about my pants fitting for a second. I'm running out of body-specific adjustments that you might need to do before you start fitting. So starting on Tuesday next week, I do my Fit Tip Tuesday video is not a live, it's just an uploaded video, and that's live at noon Eastern Standard Time. Not live, but I release it on, I schedule it for noon on Tuesdays. So starting next week, there's going to be a completely different topic. I might stay in the pants fitting realm because I have lots of things I'm trying to fine tune and figure out with my process. But I think all of the body specific things are finished. So I am kind of excited about that. I'm contemplating the differences between scooping down and building up. So when your crotch is not in the right spot, and like let's say in the back it's already up against your behind, but in the front it's 3 inches too low, I am experimenting with how to fix that without creating new problems, because that's the biggest issue I'm finding when it comes to working with you know, balancing the front and back leg using the top down center out style process of using the single leg muslin with the separate waistband. You know, the process that I learned from Ruth in Threads Magazine article 218. So I'll just remind everybody that's where I got that piece of my process from. But I'm finding that doing those body specific things really has helped students get to the fitting or make it less fitting after the leg is balanced. But then we still have that issue of, all right, if I can get the crotch to be in the right spot in the back, but it's way too high or way too low in the front, like how do I fix that? So it's a balance between raising the front, right, or digging down in the back. If I dig down in the back, I can pull the front up higher, but I'm playing with how that affects everything else. And so I'm working on it, and I've got a few students from my pants fitting class. I'm going to continue with that till I figure it out, because I will not be stymied. So that's what might be what I'll be talking about on Tuesday next week. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Join me Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for part 3 of the bias V-neck sew along. And just to recap, I'm wearing it now in an abridged version because I had to make pieces in the front to fit it onto my fabric. But I'm going to retest making the top piece smaller and stretching the bias to it to see if that hangs nicer. So I'll have that version to show you, plus this version, plus the version I'm working on with no straight side seam. So I have lots of fun for Friday. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. All right. Bye.